Hey, the top 5 foods for liver health. Why am I doing this? I'll tell you that in a second, but who's this guy next to me? Dr. Jack Wolfson, board-certified cardiologist. Jack, thank you very much for spending time with me doing this video.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
Hey, if you want to check out more about the paleocardiologist, this guy right here, check out the Doctors Wolfson, right? Isn't that your website and YouTube channel?
And our YouTube channel, yep, got great information, health, wellness, lifestyle, all that kind of good stuff. Heart health, it's all there.
Why do they call you the paleocardiologist? Because I know I just said that. It might be confusing people.
Well, as the paleocardiologist, for years I've been talking about the best nutrition, which is the paleo lifestyle or caveman, prehistoric, hunter-gatherer type foods. So when I teach people, as most cardiologists don't, about the best foods for people to eat, it is that paleo food. But it's not just about the food, it's about living the lifestyle of our ancestors to have our best health.
I know you're going to be surprised. We're going to talk about those 5 top foods for liver health coming up right now. Okay, like I said to you at the beginning, you're going to be a little surprised with some of these top 5 foods for liver health. We're going to get into it. I think, Dr. Wolfson, we're going to save the most surprising probably for the end. Why don't we start it off real easy with like #1 food for liver health that maybe people are more familiar with? What would you say?
All right, well, something I wasn't very familiar with growing up as a food, but certainly as a plant and as a flower growing up in the Chicagoland area, was the dandelion. Dandelions, they grow in the spring. It's, of course, that yellow flower. The dandelion is edible, but the dandelion green is notorious for being phenomenal for liver health. All of those phytonutrients that are in there, the antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, really help with liver flow, liver function, and really is just a phenomenal food. And really, if you live in a community where they don't spray, you can go out there and just pick the dandelions, pick them fresh, eat the greens, the stem. For the kids, the stem actually is like it's a straw, so they can use that, so it's kind of fun. So the whole dandelion is wonderful. That is food #1 that I'm going to recommend.
Hey, for those who are interested in really helping your liver along, a little bonus. I know it's not part of the 5, but we might as well tack on here. When Dr. Wolfson's talking about dandelion greens, they're really super bitter. Most of the bitter greens are really good for the liver. Mustard greens, that's great as well. Parsley. So again, dandelion greens, not the only kind of greens you have, but if you start adding greens into your life, you are really doing some really good stuff for your liver. Dr. Wolfson, let's go jump right into it. We've got #2 coming up for those keeping track. What would you say is another thing that maybe people are familiar with that's really good for the liver?
Another thing that I think is fantastic are beets. Beets, the root, the greens, but the root is really high. That red beet is very high in food-based nitrates, and the nitrates are phenomenal for blood flow to the liver and out of the liver because they crank up nitric oxide. And then also beets are very well known to help get the bile into the bile ducts, into the gallbladder, so you can use all that bile to help you digest your food. And again, as you're using that to help clear out the liver, it's clearing out excess cholesterol out of the body, so it helps to lower down cholesterol a little bit to find the perfect cholesterol number for the individual. And beets can be juiced, they can be eaten raw, they can be steamed. I just take the beet and I just kind of cut it up in just slices and just snack on them, and so does the rest of my family. We enjoy it.
Hey, I'm just going to jump in here for a second and tell you, don't get alarmed. If you start having beets, let's say you have a nice carrot, apple, beet juice, maybe put a little lemon in there as well, you should, all kidding aside, I know it sounds a little funny what I'm about to say, you're going to see it later on when you have your bowel movement comes out, and you're going to see a lot of red in the bowl. Don't panic, because we all know what we might tend to think if we didn't know any better, that it's blood. It really is about the beets coming through, and that's a good thing, right? Like I'm saying it that way also in quite a serious note. People might say, oh, your poop is just expensive because you had all that beets. But really, all of that is going through your body and being processed. It's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's certainly good. I mean, whether it's all these leafy greens, or it's the beets. Again, the color of what winds up in the bowl should have more of that greenish, reddish type hue than the pure brown. I mean, the pure brown really is a sign that you're not getting in enough of those healthy foods. So just like anything, whatever we take in, the body's going to use what it needs. It may get rid of what it doesn't need, but the beauty of the beet for liver health, stands. It's just fantastic.
Okay, and hey, I know you're keeping track. Number 3 is coming up, but just take a break for a moment. Help us out here on this channel. I would love to hear what you think is great for liver health. Post your comment down below and just tell me what you're doing to take better care of your liver. Hey, it's not only just for us here, the two of us making this video for you, but you're also helping out this entire YouTube channel and this whole community of people. When you're putting your comments down below, helping each other out, I think it's really worthwhile. So let us know. Dr. Wolfson, what are we going to get into next? What is number 3?
Number 3, I will go with the avocado. I'll go with the avocado. The avocado is loaded with fiber, so it helps to bind up things that the liver puts in and takes that out of the body. The avocado is loaded with vitamin C, vitamin E, magnesium, potassium to really get the job done. And then, of course, those fats. So when the liver senses that there's fats coming in, helps to produce all these bile acids, bile salts to help with that fat digestion. And really just, that green fruit of what that is, and of course it's very, very low sugar, does so many different things, and I just love eating avocados. I try and get at least one in per day.
A lot of you may be familiar with this already, but avocados, again, I'm always recommending that people eat organic. Dr. Wolfson's a big fan of organic as well, but avocados have a very hard shell, and we're not eating the outer shell part. They actually tend to be very inexpensive, and the kind of fruit, if you will, this avocado is kind of all right to do, even if it's not organic. But it's a very healthy fat to have, whether it's organic or non-organic. If you can get organic, of course, I am clearly telling you, go and get the organic option. But another thing, just for a moment, which may seem counterintuitive here, you're looking at this to make your liver healthier, and we're looking at over 100 million people are dealing with fatty liver disease, whether they know it or not. Most of them are walking around undiagnosed, have no idea at all, and here it is, we're talking about, hey, for your liver, you've got to have fatty food like avocado. Dr. Wolfson, it's kind of counterintuitive, but what you're really saying is true, right? Fats are good for the liver.
Yeah, the one thing that's not going to be on the top 5 list, of course, is going to be anything that contains sugar, certainly not refined sugar and anything artificial. So we want to make sure that we're giving our body the tools, and those healthy fats, again, help with liver function because the body is full of fat. The cells are made up of fat. The cell membranes are made up of fat. And if we don't have good fats in the cell membranes, the brains of the cell, we're not going to be able to function appropriately. So we want to make sure we get in those high quality fats.
All right. I know you're keeping track here. What number am I up to? I'm just kidding. I'm keeping track. Number 4, Dr. Wolfson, what do we want to talk about?
Number 4, I'm going to go with sardines. I'm going to go with sardines, again, because sardines contain everything inside of a sardine, inside of that fish that allowed that fish to come to life. So therefore, it's got to be good for us because we're eating all of the vitamins and minerals in there. We're getting calcium from the bones of the fish. We are getting good high quality fats and those omega-3 fats, again, that are so important for brain function, for heart function, for lowering triglycerides, for finding the appropriate cholesterol numbers, for insulin function and production. So all those things that are really, really important. I love eating sardines. They're easy to travel with. You just pop open that can. If you can find fresh sardines, even better. Sometimes now you can find sardines in glass, which I think is the ultimate. Gets one that's packed in maybe some olive oil, maybe there's some spicy olive oil, that goes in there as well. So sardines is my recommendation number 4.
And I definitely want to add to this by just simply saying to you that for fatty liver concerns or poor liver health, you have to be careful what Dr. Wolfson's talking about with omega-3s and omega-6s. If you're not very conscious of eating a very healthy, organic as much as you can, whole foods diet, with lots of plant foods and high-quality grass-fed meats, as Dr. Wolfson talks about, or wild-caught fish, if you're not eating whole foods and you tend to lean towards having more processed foods, crackers, cookies, cakes, cereals, sugar sweetened, even in jellies and peanut butter, believe it or not, all these things that have lots of sugars in it and also processed oils, now you're looking at really throwing your body completely out of whack. You're looking at much higher omega-6s, much less of a ratio down lower in omega-3s, which is what Dr. Wolfson was just talking about. Now you're looking at living a more pro-inflammatory lifestyle, and that pro-inflammatory lifestyle is very destructive for your liver. Dr. Wolfson, I'm sure people are attracted to your practice, looking to get a physician on board who appreciates all of this. You probably are seeing a lot of people coming from this train wreck that I just described, and they really just get turned on to eating more of a whole foods, healthy lifestyle working with you.
Yeah, certainly. And even if, when you talk about the omega-6 fats, those are typically coming from grains. They're typically coming from things that are not really foods that we should be eating. And we need to balance off that ratio. And just if all we did is keep our same diet, but we added in those can of sardines or added in the anchovies or the wild salmon, it's going to make a tremendous difference in our health. And then hopefully as we start to really unravel the eating healthy process, then it just kind of continues on and builds on itself, and you become eating healthier and healthier, and your brain is better, your body is better, your heart's better, you get off the pharmaceuticals, good things are happening.
I love what you're saying. Right there alone, just add these 5 top foods for liver health. Take the attitude not to avoid something like that box cereal or something that they'll tell you is heart healthy or liver healthy, any of these sugary foods. Forget all of that. Don't worry about avoiding something that you might love. Just if this is interesting to you, start adding some of these things into your life. And I think you'll find that eventually as you're doing more and more healthy things, those other things just fade away. So let's look at number 5. This will probably be the most surprising. Dr. Wolfson, you want to shock everybody?
Well, it's been known for years that if you want a healthy liver, you should eat liver. And free-range, grass-fed liver. Liver from a healthy animal has been used by our ancestors for thousands and thousands of years. When an animal is in the wild and it wants to be healthy, an animal that kills another animal eats the organs, and they go for that liver first. The liver is packed full of nutrition. Contrary to what most people think, it's not full of toxins. That's actually, toxins are stored in the fat. The liver processes that stuff and processes it to get it out of the body. It's not stored in the liver, but the liver does contain all the nutrients for a healthy liver to function, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the proteins, all the enzymes. The source is there, and if you consume that source as the liver, it's going to be super healthy for us.
Maybe I can get Dr. Wolfson to kind of watch this channel every now and then to catch some of your questions at the end, but it may be tough to eat liver straight away. Dr. Wolfson and his wife, Heather, they've got certain ways of making it very easy to digest with blending and all. But anyway, again, if you've got your ideas, we like to keep this a very positive channel. Post your comments down below. Let us know what you're doing to keep a very healthy liver. And please, if you like this video, subscribe, click the bell for your notifications, share this video with someone that you care about, and thanks a lot for spending time with us. Dr. Wolfson, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.